Hello, wonderful people in New Zealand. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to train a rat how to come to you. Now this is very important in a whole bunch of means. I don't mean like advanced training to where you're sitting, in your chair drinking coffee or something like, hey, watch this, and you hear a rat running towards you. It isn't like that. It's basically just getting the rat out of its cage, into your hand, or, really anything else. I mean, if you're a really good trainer, you can adapt it, or different rats are going to have different response to this training, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So here we got two rats with us. We got Chunk and we got Popcorn. Now Chunk already does this perfectly. He's the solid white one. What we're going to be working with today is Popcorn. Popcorn really isn't too social, and that's because he was the runt of the litter. If you don't know what a runt is, I'm sorry for the camera moving around, I'm holding it with one hand, trying to look rats with the other. Runt just means he was the smallest. And Chunk was actually reverse. He was the biggest. So here we're going to teach you how. So let's say you're looking to get a rat, and you got a rat, and it's about a little over a month old, which is what these guys are. Yes, they do get quite big. So here's how to do it. First, establish a bond. Basically, lots of petting. You just kind of put them on your coat, pet them or sweatshirt. Though I do have their cage for them. You really don't need a big cage for rats. And he's going to demonstrate what you do. You just hold your hand out until they eventually come out a little bit. And you just hold it there. You don't want to move it too quickly, and slowly move it away from the cage. There you go. That's basically how it is. So let me get Popcorn, who is currently... Well, there he is. He's hiding in my hoodie. Yes, I know, rats are very fun to train. You can try this with older rats. Oops, sorry. You can try this with older rats. I mean, you can train an older rat. It's just going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more biting. So, we got the rat. We want to give it lots of love. And we put it back in cage. Now, it might run away. That's fine. Or it might run and jump around. But what we want to do is just hold our hand there and don't move around too much. We usually give it about a good minute, maybe 30 seconds, and if it doesn't come, we pick it up, give lots of pets, and put it back in. Eventually, it's going to establish us as safe, so when the cage opens, it wants to come out. You see it running around because it's happy, and it wants to figure out, I'm happy. How do I continue this happiness? My goodness, this hand. This hand just petted me. Sniff, sniff. It's not food. Sniff. As you can see, he's still moving around a whole bunch. That means he's happy. If he was scared, he would run and hide. But as you can see, he's just running around, so he's happy. Now, as he slows down and sniffs, that means he's getting a little bit nervous, and that's fine. Just want to hold still. Okay, as we can see, he's really not going to get it. So very slowly and carefully, we're going to scoop him. Not pick him up, just scoop him. Oh, one-handed. Oh, where'd you go, baby? Oh, there you are. Oh. Wow. There we go. Scooped him up. Whew. Sorry, this is going to be a very, kind of one of my longer videos. But I want to make sure that I fully explain how to do it. So after you do this, a few times, picking them up, petting a whole bunch, putting them back in cage, petting them a whole bunch, putting them back in cage. Eventually you can do this with any size cage. I personally don't like to give rats too big of a cage. Just because, one, it makes them real nervous if they really don't need it. I mean, what size cages you really pick is really up to you. I mean, you can give them like a huge cage, and they're one of those few animals that will actually use everything. So if you give them a hammock, they're going to sleep in it. If you give them a rope to chew on, they're going to chew on it. I don't know why would you give them a rope, but still, I mean, that's what the kind of like the plus side of having a rat is, like, whatever you give them, they're going to use. But if you actually want to size up a cage correctly, and you really don't want to give them, like a huge cage, just make sure that when the rat is fully stretched out, fully laid out, it isn't bending, like it isn't, trying to get comfortable in the camp. Also, when it turns around, it has no trouble turning around. It's okay if it tail, bends just a little bit, but, not too dramatically for a full-grown rat. You can always upgrade in cage sizes, which is something I never understood why a lot of people don't do. Like, they don't upgrade. They always start, like with the biggest cage. You start with all the toys. You start with all the little hides. And then they wonder why they don't see the rat so much. The rat's overstimulated. It has like all these other things, and, it really doesn't need you, kind of thing. I mean, I do give my rats toys, I do give them stuff to play with, but more or less I just focus on the training aspect. Just because if they really have nothing better to do, it's going to be a lot easier to train them. No, they're not depressed, no, they're not anything. They, like I said, really don't need much. This is your cage. That's it. And what is that? That's 100% cotton clothes and, at the moment, kale, which is what I feed him. Only feed him fresh fruits and vegetables. If you would like a full detailed list of fresh fruits and vegetables to give them, I can put that down in comments as I reply to them. I'm very sorry if I take quite a while to respond to your comments. I'm still kind of new on comments. So, let's show you again how to do it. Put your hand out. Wait. And there you go. Popcorn's back there, and I really don't want to reach back there with my hand again. But yeah, you just reach back there, you scoop them up, and then you pet them a whole bunch, you give them kisses and everything else. And then if they do nip you, it's not really too big of a deal. This is why it's a lot easier to train younger rats and older rats. Just because nips really aren't going to hurt you too much. And all you do is you just tap them on the head to go like this. Boop. That's it. Not real hard, just enough to where, but like that. Like that, like tapping on your head, tapping on the table. About that hard. You really don't want to do it too hard like you would with a cat or a dog or anything else. Just enough to where they understand it. Don't yell at them, don't scream at them, because they're really not going to understand it. They're not like a dog where, like every different bark means something. For them, it's mostly touch and lots of smells. So if you can, when you get your rat, make sure that you want to know what you're getting to make sure that the rat has a personality that you enjoy. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want an aggressive as hell rat and you never want to touch it, that's fully up to you. But for those other people, what you want to do is when you pick out the rat, either through like an ad or something, make sure you can at least pick it up and it doesn't, run away like super duper quick. Like, here, let me get out popcorn because he's a skittish baby. Here we go. This is about appropriate. You don't want them to like run real quick. If they run up your arm, that's fine, but more or less calm. That's what you want to have. See, he's not really trying to run around too much. He just kind of exploring. That's a little bit biased just because these two rats know me a whole bunch, but still, that's about how big rats are. Is you really don't run around too much. Like they really don't want to bite you or anything. Like they're very enjoyable pets. At least I do think so. Now, I don't do any advanced training or anything, so this is, just, hey, open up the cage, rat comes out. It's a lot easier, too, when you give them, like, treats and other stuff, too. Just because, like, they're happy to see you. Hi, hi, hi. Not like a cat or a dog, Or dogs, like overjoyed to see you. It's more like, hi, hi, hi. So let's put you back in there. Put hand out. And there you go. And this might take a week, might take a month. But as long as you do it every day with them, they'll eventually learn. And you want to make sure that you give them lots of positive reinforcement. Like, you cannot give them enough positive reinforcement. Light pets, if they like tummy rubs, give them tummy rubs. Yes, rats do like tummy rubs. Yeah. And flip them around and, really find out, what the rat likes. Chunk loves rough play. He just loves to be tossed around. He just loves to cuddle. Look at that, see? So nice and happy, fast movement, sniffing around, because he wants to play some more. The rats do get tired. They're not endless Duracell batteries or something like that. And you will notice when they get tired, they just kind of slow down. Which is why I compared them to a battery. They just kind of, slowly peter off. And once you get this hand training down, you can train them to do a whole bunch of stuff a lot easier. Just because, hey, they're in your hand, they might as well, do something else. Rats love to move up, which is kind of weird to say, but they do. So, if you want to, someone wants to see another video of how to train your rats to climb up your sleeve, I do that a lot just because, hey, one, it's a fun trick, and two, it's a lot easier, because, these guys sit on my shoulder just about all day long. They do move down, but they mainly like to move up. So yeah, well, till the next video, shoot 'em high, watch 'em fly.